Patrick Hession, formerly Maynard Ferguson's lead trumpet player, and you played with Maynard for the last 6+ years that Maynard was on the road before he passed.
Yes, sir.
So welcome, Patrick.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you here. So let's see, there's lots of things I'd like to talk to you about. Let's start out by actually asking you about the Octave Iser, because so many people have seen that goofy video. Do you want to just tell people what was up with that whole thing?
Well, I think it was born out of Maynard being a practical joker, and so we thought it'd be funny to have something to pull out in the studio, like to kind of lighten the mood, like say if a passage wasn't going well or something like that, that they go, oh, wait a minute, and stick it in and then play the passage. And
Maynard got a kick out of it.
Yes.
And that's all that counted. Well, so you played with Maynard for the last 6 years, and you've made the comment to me more often than not that you miss being on the road with Maynard, and you love being on the bus at night and doing the hit and runs.
Yeah, I miss the road. Well, I miss the road for one, but I miss that band and Maynard especially, because without Maynard it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
It was never a gig to me.
Yeah.
And that's hard to say with a lot of jobs. A lot of people are like, oh God. I mean, we had you have nights where you're low energy and you got to play, but it was always a party on stage with Maynard. It was all about having fun. And Maynard had, I think the key to Maynard's success was he kept a happy band as well as pleasing the audience. So he knew how to balance keeping the guys in the band happy and at the same time pleasing the audience at the same time. And that's a hard combination. Because a lot of bands play to keep the band happy, but the audience they're falling asleep. They're not like in the equation. People assume if the band's having a good time, that people will have a good time. And sometimes that's true, but Maynard just balanced it. You know? He knew how to balance.
Boy, he sure did. And he was so spectacular at acknowledging people like crazy. That was...
I don't think I've ever worked for a band leader that acknowledged the members in the band as much as Maynard.
Yeah, that was his mission. Can you explain to those people that haven't been on the road with a band like Maynard's, not that there's any other bands like Maynard's, can you explain what a hit and run is? And can you tell us a story or two about some outrageous hit and runs you might have done when you were on the band?
Well, a true hit and run is where you pull into the gig, like where you're going to play.
Yeah.
Literally. You're on the bus, no showers, no nothing. Yeah. You set up, you do your sound check, whatever. You do the show, you pack up, get on the bus, and drive all night long to the next gig. That's a true hit and run.
Uh-huh.
I believe it was Cape Cod to DC was a hit and run like that. And so we pulled in, I don't know where we came from, we pulled into Cape Cod, I think Christina's or some club like that. And it's like a dinner theater type club. And we played, I believe we played 2 sets.
Oh boy.
And then,
no hotel, no showers?
No hotel. Usually, when the Maynard band, generally we did a lot of hit and runs. We would have like hotels for the day. We'd pull in, between around noonish, say. And so guys would have time to like shower up, go get a bite to eat, and etc. like that. And then go, sometimes we would do cleanup rooms where we'd get 2 rooms where the guys in the band would divide up. But like I said, on the true hit and run, it's bus to gig to bus to gig.
Oh.
And fortunately, we didn't have a lot of those. And our last 2 days of one of our European tours, we were on 7 flights in 2 days and over 72 hours in transit.
Oh, wow.
And just talk about... And the cool thing about that was Maynard thrived in those conditions. Like, the harder the conditions were like that, the better he played and the more fun he had. He was like a little kid, like at the carnival. Like, there's so many rides and you can't get to them all. Like, and it's very inspirational because, sometimes, when things are going well, it just seems to be kind of the thing of the road. When everything's going right and smooth, sometimes you don't feel as good or do as well, but when conditions are really haywire and all over the place, sometimes that's when the really magical things happen.
Yeah.
His mind would like, oh, it'll be great. Like, I don't know how many times like he would say, oh, it'll be great. Like would not even worry about it. I hope it's going to be there or whatever. It's just, he'd be warming up or something, and and he'd just laugh. I mean, he did tell me when he was younger he used to get mad and angry and stuff like that. But then, you know, I guess being on the road as long as he has, and also he realized, you know, to accept the good, you have to be able to accept the bad things that happen.
Yeah, well, there's no bad without good, and there's no good without bad.
So,
it's the duality thing.
I used to say that Maynard was like, I said in one clinic that Maynard was like Babe Ruth. Like every swing has a home run written on it. Just has to hit the ball.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
that's what it was. So
can you tell a story just to give a little insight into Maynard's headspace?
Oh, okay. We're in Tel Aviv, of all places. And I guess it was one of the generators or transformers. It was on a break after our first set. And we're in the back, just hanging out, having a good old time, you know. And this huge explosion happens, and it's one of the generators or transformers, whatever.
Yeah.
And half the people, you know, a lot of people are used to it in Israel, I guess. So, but we lost most of our crowd.
Yeah, of course.
And then Maynard's in the back. Oh, here we go! And he's just like, and he's just, everyone else is got these stunned looks on their face like a deer in the headlights, and Maynard's just, oh, here we go, and he starts laughing like it's, you know, he was like actually excited. Something was happening. That's his.
Yes, sir.
There was a story about years before me, of course. He went to, I think it was Russia for some Olympics to play. And a lot of people didn't go that year because of some kind of tensions.
Yeah, right.
And Maynard just always had the philosophy, well, if something's meant to happen, it will happen. So he just always went. So he just said, yeah, sure, I'll go. So he went. So that's kind of like the Tel Aviv thing. Like it was no greater testimony of that is like when that explosion, it was like, oh, here we go. Like,
here we go.
Yeah, it wasn't like, didn't even flinch.
Didn't flinch. Patrick, you have a spectacular website. And on your website, you do a great job of keeping track of your calendar and where you're going to be playing,
Yes.
and you've got a few items for sale, including your book, and you've sold a lot of copies of that book.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And the book is so well done. And when people study with you, they have some pretty good luck pretty quickly, don't they?
Yeah, it's amazing. I don't know. Maynard always said that you're your own best teacher, and I think that's the case. I've obviously had good teachers in my life, but until you teach yourself, you don't really know. You don't really own it.
And so, is that part of your teaching? Is that you teach people how to teach themselves?
That's what I hope that they would get from me out of anything that they learn. I've even told people even if you don't play one exercise out of my book, the philosophy of just the reading material is enough to make or help you get better.
Make a difference. And so if people want to, you do give private lessons.
Yes.
And some people do come in and come to you, and they'll do a one-time, they'll fly to Detroit or whatever, come sit in, do a one-time private lesson with you, and then you give them stuff to work on, and then they can go home and
there's
with a copy of your book and have at it.
Actually, on my news page, I have a guy posted his whole lesson in better detail than I could remember the lesson.
Oh, great.
On the internet. So I put it on my news page. I think it was posted on one of the Trumpet websites.
Very good. Patrick, it's been such a joy to have you here the last 3 days. Everybody loved your playing and loved your personality, and thank you so much.
All right.